The New York Islanders have officially called up Samuel Bolduc. So why did they do that, and what can we expect from the defenseman? Hit that subscribe button, don't miss a video. Also go to Twitter and follow @TLMitch, that's me. Don't miss any breaking information about Islanders prospects I've yet to cover on the channel. It's officially official, the Islanders have called up Samuel Bolduc and they've placed Cal Clutterbuck on IR. Stefan Rosner was the first one to notice that the Islanders have added Samuel Bolduc's name to the media site roster, and now they've made it official. And if you're asking yourself why did they call up a defenseman when they're putting a forward on IR, Cal Clutterbuck is moving to IR just to open up a roster spot to bring up Samuel Bolduc, and we'll get into why just now. In the third period against the Carolina Hurricanes, defenseman Noah Dobson went down the tunnel and did not return. He missed game time and he might not be available to play against the Toronto Maple Leafs. So that leaves a spot on the blue line for the New York Islanders to fill. Now you might be saying Samuel Bolduc's a lefty, Noah Dobson's a righty, so that's not really a one-for-one swap. And you have a point to an extent. When it comes to handedness, they are not a one-for-one swap. If they wanted to bring in a righty, they should have probably brought up Grant Hutton. But it wasn't necessarily, as far as I can see, they're not calling up Samuel Bolduc because of his handedness. They're calling him up because they want to replace Noah Dobson's offense. Or they want to at least bring up a guy who's got offense. And that is Samuel Bolduc, who leads all defensemen for the Bridgeport Islanders in points and point share. When you see Sean O'Brien's draft here, you can see that Samuel Bolduc is well ahead of everyone in terms of offensive point share. Now, what should we expect from Samuel Bolduc? Because we're assuming he's playing against the Toronto Maple Leafs. As well, we're also assuming that Noah Dobson is not playing. And so what could we expect from Samuel Bolduc? Well, stylistically, you're getting a big-bodied player that is not necessarily only offense, but is seemingly offense first. He's not a bad defenseman, but he's more geared towards the offensive side of the game. He's got, again, a big body at 6'4", 220, but I would not call him a physical defenseman. That's just not his style. He could hopefully learn that, but that is easier said than done. But he's got the mass and the physicality, or the physique, I should say, not the physicality, the physique, to be able to push guys out of the way, clear the front of the net, and maybe be a little bit more physical along the boards. That's something that I'm going to look for today, assuming he's playing against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, who does he play with? Which is the really tricky question. Who does he line up with? Because we've only got 2 righties on the roster right now, assuming, again, that Noah Dobson is out. This is how I think they're going to line up. Aho Pollock, pair 1, Bolduc, Mayfield, pair 2, and pair 3 is Wotherspoon, Romanov. Now, maybe you put Romanov with Bolduc, but I have a hard time seeing Lane Lambert put 2 young kids still trying to figure out their spot within this roster together against the Toronto Maple Leafs, as the Islanders are trying to pull themselves out of an epic slide. I just don't see that happening. I see Bolduc being with a steady hand in Scott Mayfield. Also, you got a guy who can teach him how to be more physical. Maybe not cross-check people in the ribs.
Of the shift, and there's no doubt there is some damage done by Mayfield on Kucherov. He continued to play, and then as we showed you a little bit earlier, the contact.
Well, learn how to be more physical, to add that physical element to his game. That's what you want with Scott Mayfield. Yes, Romanov is also a physical player, but that kind of newish player to the roster or to the lineup really doesn't mix well with having Samuel Bolduc with that same dynamic. To round it off, what are we expecting from Samuel Bolduc today? 9 to 16 minutes worth of ice time. Most of that, like 90 to 99% of that, at 5-on-5. Maybe he gets some special teams time because of throwing random BS in the power play. We're looking for that, or we're expecting that offensive instinct to show up, and we're expecting him to get that big shot of his on net. What we're looking for is, does he have NHL offensive instinct? Does he have that NHL IQ? And more importantly, I guess, is that physicality. Can he show that he's got that physical, that mean element in his game? And by mean, I don't mean cross-checking people in the ribs and breaking them a la Scott Mayfield. I just mean, can he clear the front of the net? And can he do the business along the boards by separating players from pucks using that 6'4", 220-pound frame? That's what we're looking for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, like I said earlier, please do so. And if you have already or just about to do it, thank you, thank you, thank you.